Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jan. I'm the CEO of Acquire.Fi. We have Andrew here again from Magnus Capital. Andrew, how are you? What's up?
Good, man. How are you doing, man? I just got back from Korea. I was at KBW for the week. Pretty fun conference. Met a lot of cool people. Had some good talks, and yeah, now I'm just getting back to it.
What's up with Korean? What's the alpha? I heard there's a lot of gaming companies coming out, especially on Ton.
Yeah, so I mean, Ton and Bearchain were kind of like the two more hyped projects. They threw kind of like the best parties I found. Sui was also of talk as well. And in terms of like narrative stuff, everybody seems to be kind of lost. There wasn't like a defined direction. And then just like the generic kind of stuff like DeFi, RWA, AI stuff were popping up. But Ton stuff seems to be pretty interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah, now when Pavel got out, I think was a good time to buy.
Yeah, the charts. We'll show it later.
Yeah. So we are still on the seasonality chart. We're looking at it. September is still not going that great. I did actually a video yesterday saying the same thing. Like institutionals have been dumping quite a lot. ETFs are not going that great. What are you observing?
Yeah, so basically, coming into September, we expected a little bit of a sell-off. This kind of usually with the Labor Day weekend, coming back from the summer vacation. Institutions are now probably spraying positions, and then we are also preparing for like the tax sell-off season. So if you look at the first couple of weeks here, we are supposed to see a bit of a trough. Might see a little bit of a late rally coming into later September, and then officially kind of creating the bottom kind of like near closer to October. That's for the S&P. For the tech sector, you can see a little bit more defined. We are supposed to have a bit of a sell-off, which we saw. Maybe we get a little bit of a pump coming into the mid to late September, and then we get the final kind of sell-off coming into October. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here for these kind of events. Also, keep in mind that we do have CPI and PPI coming out this week. Core inflation is coming out today, later, and then the PPI will be tomorrow. So I do expect a bit of volatility coming into these liquidity events.
What do you think will happen now during this week on CPI numbers?
Depends how it comes out. I mean, if it comes out bullish, then I do expect a little bit of a rally. And then same thing with the PPI. If they get bullish expectations, generally we should see bullish rallies. So I think they will come out better than expected, just like the last couple times. But who knows?
I was reading somewhere like quite a lot of alpha chats are saying, despite the numbers would be great, it just means that the recession is coming much faster. And basically, it doesn't matter what results are coming. Things are looking quite bad, but maybe that will change. Maybe that's not the thing here.
Yeah, so like, the better the numbers, the more likelihood of getting a bigger rate cut, perhaps. So right now it's still leaning around 0.25 to 0.5. So we shall see. And then the Fed rates are actually next week. So pretty volatile a couple of weeks here.
It's going to be exciting. What are you seeing on BTC? And also yesterday we had Trump and Kamala Harris going head to head. I think I'm going to show quickly my screen, just talk about it a little bit. We're now even on Kamala winning or Donald Trump winning. What's your take here?
To be honest, it seemed like Trump was struggling, and I think the favor was in Kamala. She hit him with some personal attacks, and I think it got to him.
Yeah, don't eat cats. Don't eat cats. AKA.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty wild. hearing stuff like that. Like here we were saying some outrageous stuff. So it just kind of shows you where we are in terms of like our current political system. But yeah.
I don't think I'm very worried what will happen no matter who will get into the presidential candidate, like who will be elected eventually. They're both like, despite Trump being very pro crypto, things might not be like he's saying. Knowing Trump, he says a lot, but then again, doesn't deliver. And Kamala is just I don't know even what's her policy on crypto at the moment. She seems to be very anti-crypto. So
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for the election to be over, but let's see. Anyway, let's go to your charts.
Okay. So, Bitcoin, we had a nice retracement back into the reload zone off of this small range here from this low to this high. It held nicely. We had a little kind of like inside bar fractal kind of print out. But now we're just kind of pulling back again. What I say is that we came pretty close to the 38.2 first stop resistance. This is
can you zoom in a little bit?
Zoom in? Yeah, okay. Sorry.
There we go.
So we had the 61.8, 70.6 levels hold last week. I was in KBW, so I didn't get to play this setup here, unfortunately, but that's all right. And then now we're kind of like pulling back. The debates weren't as bullish as people were hoping. Plus, we have these liquidity events coming up, right? So 30.2 is like your first stop resistance when you're looking it up from upwards. And I think right now we're just kind of seeing a bit of a pause in price action. So at least until the data comes out here. And then momentum-wise, really nothing screaming or shouting, bearish or bullish. Kind of in no man's land, really. So just kind of seeing how this progresses. Maybe this carves out another W. That'd be nice to see. But yeah, right now I'm just a bit hands-off here. Not really seeing any setups. Also, if I look on the 30-minute charts for Bitcoin, off of this recent range here, we do see that this was the short reload zone, and then Bitcoin pretty much tagged it twice and failed against it twice. So not really a bullish sign here.
It's not strong.
Lower time frame.
It's definitely not strong.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Maybe it comes back into the long reload zone, and then we have to consolidate and try to push back up. But right now, it looks like it's getting pushed down pretty hard. And when I look at Ethereum's chart, same thing. We tested 30.2 a couple weeks ago, failed against it, came back down into the reload zone from this low to this high, so off of this range. And it honestly didn't rally as hard as Bitcoin, noticing that ETH is lagging a bit behind. But we're still in the long reload zone here. I think we're probably going to have to come down, test the 70.6 again, test this little breakout that we originally had. And then the same thing, momentum-wise, it's nothing screaming bearish or bullish right now. It's just kind of going sideways, I would say. And then when I look in the 30 minutes charts for Ethereum is now back in its like little short reload zone based off this high here and this low. And then if you also look, we actually came and tested the 38.2 first stop resistance, and it kind of failed. So right now, we're just kind of struggling. I do see the 200 SMA coming in here, maybe acts as support, but right now it's looking a little bit struggling right now.
Yeah, and then if you look at the ETF flows, so I'm going to show you here something. They've been negative almost every day since they launched. And remember, there's Grayscale that has $9 billion worth of ETH. And why are people dumping from Grayscale? It's because their fee is 2.5 compared to all the others. So until Grayscale has dumped at least half, or let's say 70%, I don't see it turning, to be honest, or even trying to touch all-time highs. I think ETH is struggling very much. And until we get Grayscale to dump most of their ETH, nothing major will happen. But let's see. I don't think the ETH ETF has been that successful. I think it's more for dumping Grayscale. But yeah, back to your charts.
Yeah, it seems like the ETFs haven't really done anything for us. Hasn't really helped us. Really, it's just a shame. But yeah, I mean, we can look at like some of the dominant stuff here. But we are seeing a little bit of a breakdown within the Bitcoin dominance here. But what I see is like the stablecoin dominance is perking back up, and then the altcoin dominance is falling back down as well. So that means like people are kind of leaving Bitcoin and altcoins and kind of like refueling up back into stables, which isn't like the best scenario for our cases when we're longing these risk assets. So that's a little bit unfortunate that I'm seeing there. And then we can kind of like go into like the S&P as well and the Nasdaq. Like these are also kind of struggling right now. We had a pretty big breakdown last week. Came into the reload zone. We pretty much came and kissed like a 88.6 level. Let me see if I can show you right here. And that's usually where institutions will step in. So obviously they didn't want to take out these highs yet, so we kind of got knocked down. And we didn't hit the long reload zone either. So there's still a little bit of room for this to keep coming down here. And then momentum-wise, we were overbought here. Didn't really have a bearish dip or anything like that, but momentum-wise, in terms of like the buy levels, were overextended. So kind of pulling back here, and then same thing with like the Nasdaq. Nasdaq actually had a double top within the short reload zone, broke down. We came and kissed the 61.8 level here for the long reload zone. It held, broke out, and now we're just kind of coming back down. It looks like probably gonna have to retest it. I do like the 200 SMA support here as well right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do have to come back and take that as we consolidate here. But let's see how the CPI and the PPI data comes out. That might cause some bit of a volatility spike to the upside, depending on how it comes out. So,
what coins are you following at the moment or looking at?
To be honest, there's a lot of coins that were looking decent. The two that I kind of really liked recently was like let me see if I can find OP. I really liked OP. I had this original position on for a while, but I like this W breakout. We had the Wyckoff check over here. It held, and now we're kind of pointing back up. And then pretty much where this yellow line is, if we can break above that, that's like a pretty wide W within like many different Ws, signaling a pretty strong momentum turn here, in my opinion. And then just to hit a double would be like 50% of the range, the original range. And I think that has a pretty good potential. But again, we really have to wait till this breaks out. And then a lot of these alts are going to be dependent on how well ETH and Bitcoin performs here as well. So, if we keep getting breakdowns within the majors, then these will probably flop. So Pendle is another one that I really liked. We do have these trend lines broken across. We do have the double bottom. We had the white claw check, and it held pretty well. And now we're kind of back above the original breakout. So, ideally, I would like to see it to continue, maybe break above these highs over here now. And then that would also confirm an even larger W. And that'd be the best use case for that one. But, I look at a lot of the alts, they are all looking pretty similar to this. Like, we had these original breakouts, you get the retest, and now the market's trying to see if we want to continue higher here. But again, everything really does depend on Bitcoin and ETH kind of holding here.
Yeah, I just want to say to that there's been a lot of opportunities. I think we're still seeing downside, but there's definitely a good setups now for taking positions, like you said before. Yeah. Okay, Andrew, I want to talk a little bit about secondaries because it's something that it's becoming more and more normal in the VC atmosphere. And I want to give you guys some alpha, what I've been seeing and what's been hot here. But anyway, people who don't know, we get almost every week something new to our Telegram channel and to our site. At the moment, we almost have all projects for sale. They are on a discount, and some of them are more hot than others. And one of them has been actually Babylon. So Babylon is a staking protocol for Bitcoin. It's native, and it's basically doing the same thing that Eigenlayer is trying to do on ETH, but fully native on a Bitcoin. And actually, we've been starting to see more and more trades happening here. And the recent trade that we saw one, let's say, partner do was 1.2 $2 billion FDV. And that's pretty high because these $1 billion plus FDVs that have been traded on secondary has not been happening that much. So people who are interested, check it out. And definitely, like, once they launch, it's something to be very bullish on, at least from my side, because there are a lot of tier one funds trading this. On another note, something that has been not going so well, but is still recovering, is Ether. And people who know or are in all alpha channels in Telegram, this offer has been basically recycled quite a lot. It's Ether's $1 billion sell side offer. There was a lot of supply coming in, but now we're actually seeing some buy offers coming in at $600 million FDV. I think Ether will recover. I think the AI and GPU narrative is still there. But I actually did also a questionnaire in my LinkedIn, and I got quite surprising answers. And basically, I asked, let's go here, what do you guys think is the most overvalued sector in crypto right now? And people said AI and MemeFi. And I think actually layer one is one of the most overvalued at the moment, but definitely AI is also there, and MemeFi would say in the third phase. Then on another note, on the buy side, we are starting to get a lot of buy side offers also on the M&A side. This is actually a very good thing because last year there was almost no M&A happening. And now we're finally seeing that, hey, M&A is starting to be a normal thing. And we are starting to see like companies that have good revenue, have a good, let's say, infrastructure that they're selling are coming in place. So one of them is Pipeflare. They have more than 17 games for sale. And I would definitely look at them if you are a gaming project and so forth. But hey, I want to end there. Andrew, thanks for being on the show. Always good to have you here, say about what's happening in the charts. And hopefully we see you maybe next week or later this week.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. And yeah, maybe we can do one on Friday, after all the liquidity events go by. And then if not, next week for sure.
And I'm going to link, I've been forgetting, but I'm going to link Andrew's trading channel here so you guys can all check it out. Thanks again. And please like and follow.